Rice farmer from Lake Arthur, Louisiana, and for our Louisiana folks here tonight. Mr. Errol, he lives on the banks of Lake Arthur, where your windshield gets foggy, where your back roads unwind. It's a long way from Shreveport, not too far from Get On, and it's close to the home that I left behind. It's close to the home that I left behind. Mr. Errol's a farmer, he's a father, he's a hunter, and he talks to the ducks and the geese in the blind. He works hard for the lives that he hopes to make better, and he lives by the graveyard of the rusty combine. He lives by the graveyard of the rusty combine. And he held my hand when my boots got too heavy, with the mud from the rice field coming to my behind. We set out the decoys in the dark on the levee, and we walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. We walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. There's coffee and biscuits on the stove in the kitchen. There's a crack in the ceiling. There's a screened-in front door. When the fog starts to settle on the banks of Lake Arthur, I can still taste the whiskey from the night just before. It's a Crown Royal whiskey from the night just before. It's hard to get up at 3 in the morning. Put your guns, put your shells, put your wine in the sack. We look like some militia with their boots in our camo, with a bird dog named Milo, he's asleep in the back. Alright now. He held my hand when my boots got too heavy, with the mud from the rice field coming to my behind. We set out the decoys in the dark on the levee, and we walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. We walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. Combine's a monster, a combine's a savior. Looking down at the blades, I see heaven and hell. Cold steel cut the rice crops for acres and acres. Filled how many barrels? Man, I cannot tell. Filled how many dryers? Man, I cannot tell. From the banks of Lake Arthur to the Mermentau River, there's water as far as your good eyes can see. In the Lake Arthur bar, all the old men get rowdy. They got bottles of whiskey that are older than me. And he held my hand when my boots got too heavy, with the mud from the rice field coming to my behind. We set out the decoys in the dark on the levee, and we walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. We walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. Sometimes I dream of a girl in a pickup, with her windows rolled down, with her radio on. When you look at the cypress on the Highway 190, and you give her a wave, and you sing Joe LeBlanc. Yeah, you give her a wave, and you sing Joe LeBlanc. Mr. Errol's a good friend, he's never a stranger. When I come back, it seems like I've always been here. There's a sign in his kitchen, it's written in French.
Quand on a plus de Schlitz, on a plus de bière.
When you run out of Schlitz, you run out of beer. He held my hand when my boots got too heavy, with the mud from the rice field coming to my behind. We set out the decoys in the dark on the levee, and we walked through the graveyard of the rusty combine. We walked through the graveyard of the rusty